Hey there, savvy shoppers and concerned citizens of the United States. Buckle up, because what I've got to share with you today is set to shake up your shopping routine like never before. Imagine walking through your favorite grocery store, be it Walmart, Kroger, or your trusty local market, and suddenly, the shelves you know so well are missing some key items. Well, brace yourselves, because 10 popular grocery products are on the brink of vanishing, and it could happen as soon as November. This is not a drill, folks. This is a wake-up call to a new era where food shortages are not just a distant nightmare but a reality knocking at our door. While many are blissfully unaware, caught up in their daily routines, a silent storm is brewing that could change the face of grocery shopping in just a few weeks. So what's causing this tidal wave of change? Let's dive into the heart of the storm, the supply chain chaos that's turning everything upside down. You might have caught snippets about the port strikes on the East and Gulf coasts. Well, it's a much bigger beast than anyone's letting on. Retail giants like Walmart and Home Depot are bracing for potential months-long delays. What does this mean for you? It's a trickle-down effect that could lead to empty shelves and sky-high prices. We're not talking about some fancy gourmet items here. No, we're talking about the basics, those pantry staples like canned vegetables, flour, and grains. These are the everyday essentials that could soon be Mia, leaving many of us scrambling to adjust. As major media outlets drown us in stories about cooling inflation and supposed consumer wins, they're conveniently ignoring the freight train of scarcity headed our way. Let's face reality: if inflation is truly cooling, why are we seeing such a surge in the prices of basic commodities? This feels eerily reminiscent of the 2008 economic crisis, a time many of us remember all too well. And let's not forget how numbers are often massaged to paint a prettier picture of the economy. The truth is, the situation isn't cooling down, it's heating up. The Federal Reserve might be tweaking their formulas to make it seem like we're in the clear, but the truth is far from it. Prepare for a reality check, because this isn't just about what products will lose, it will have a significant impact on our wallets, and it's going to hurt. But don't worry, I'm not just here to give you bad news. In today's video, I'm going to break down exactly which 10 grocery items might soon become rare finds in your local store. This is about arming you with the knowledge to prepare and adapt. By staying informed, you can make smart decisions and avoid the panic that often comes with sudden shortages. So stick around as we unravel this list and discuss how you can mitigate the effects of these potential shortages. This is crucial information that every shopper needs to hear, so hit that subscribe button to stay updated on all things grocery and beyond. Together, we'll navigate these changes and emerge on the other side, informed and ready to tackle whatever comes our way. 1. Canned pumpkin shortages. With the arrival of fall, you'd think canned pumpkin would be as plentiful as leaves on the ground. However, reality paints a different picture. As the fall colors deepen, one staple you'll want to stock up on is canned pumpkin. This beloved autumn ingredient is facing a severe scarcity, and here's why you should care. Illinois, the epicenter of pumpkin production in the United States, cultivates a staggering 90% of America's pumpkins. However, this year's yield has been disrupted by extreme weather patterns, including relentless heat waves and unexpected torrential rainfalls. As a result, Libby's, the largest name in canned pumpkin production, is facing reduced supplies due to these problematic harvest conditions. The warning to retailers is clear: brace yourselves for a shortage. Why is this a big deal, you ask? Well, canned pumpkin isn't just about your homemade pumpkin pies or festive pumpkin bread recipes. It's a powerhouse of nutrition packed with fiber and essential vitamins, making it a versatile and valuable pantry staple. And here's the kicker: the price of canned pumpkin is already subtly ticking upward, with a current jump of about 10 to 15%. Some experts predict an additional increase of 20 to 25% as November approaches, fueled by the approaching holiday season. When Halloween hits and the demand for pumpkin-themed delight surges, don't be surprised if store shelves are emptier than your candy bowl at the end of the night. Our advice? Avoid the last-minute scramble and pick up your cans of pumpkin now. Being proactive means you won't be left in the lurch, wishing you'd planned ahead when the shelves are stark and bare. 2. Canned corn, that humble yet essential pantry staple that might just vanish from your shelves sooner than you think. So why is this beloved side dish and recipe enhancer heading for extinction in our local grocery stores? First off, let's talk about Mother Nature. The United States, especially the Midwest, is renowned as the global corn powerhouse. However, this year, severe droughts and erratic weather patterns have taken a substantial toll on corn production. The heartland states of Iowa, Nebraska, and Illinois are experiencing a significant downturn, with the USDA reporting harvest yields plummeting by 15 to 20% compared to last year. Scorching temperatures and a lack of rain have left the fields parched and the corn sparse. But the challenges don't stop at the weather. The soaring costs of fertilizers and fuel are adding another layer of strain on our hard-working farmers. Many are finding it economically unfeasible to maintain their usual planting routines, leading to reduced crop sizes across the board. So, what does this mean for you, the consumer? Well, it means that the canned corn you've come to rely on is becoming more costly by the day. In fact, we've already seen a noticeable 12% price jump in the past 3 months alone. And with the festive season just around the corner, demand is only going to skyrocket. Experts are predicting a staggering 25 to 30% price hike by November, and the impact will be felt most with your favorite brands like Del Monte and Green Giant. These companies have already sent out signals about potential shortages due to bottlenecks in their distribution lines. And for those thinking about switching to frozen corn as an alternative, think again. Freezing facilities are grappling with severe labor shortages and skyrocketing cold storage costs. This means that once the canned corn stocks are depleted, finding any corn product could become a daunting task. So if canned corn is a must-have in your kitchen, whether you're adding it to hearty stews, soups, or delicious side dishes, now is the time to act. Stock up while supplies are still relatively stable, because come next month, canned corn could be nothing more than a fond memory, with prices reaching unprecedented levels. 3. Canned soup. The quintessential comfort food and emergency pantry savior. Whether you're cozying up with a bowl of chicken noodle on a chilly day or whipping up a quick meal with minestrone, canned soup is a staple in countless households. But brace yourselves, because this beloved kitchen standby might soon become a rare find. Imagine walking into your local grocery store, only to find the soup aisle looking a lot emptier than usual. Campbell's, Progresso brands you've come to rely on could start disappearing from the shelves or, worse yet, become a luxury item with prices that make you do a double take. So what's causing this soup crisis? Let's start with the soup's core ingredients. The vegetables, meats, and spices that make your favorite soup so delicious are facing critical shortages. Widespread weather-related crop failures have drastically reduced vegetable availability, while meat production is hampered by shortages of animal feed and escalating fuel costs. This means every component that goes into your canned soup is becoming harder to source and more expensive to obtain. But the challenges don't end at the ingredients. The very cans that hold your soup are caught in a supply chain tussle. There's a significant shortage of tin plate steel essential for manufacturing soup cans. This shortage is due to bottlenecks in major steel plants, which are struggling with labor shortages and increased raw material costs. As a result, the price of producing these cans has surged, and canned food manufacturers are raising prices to cope. Soup producers like Campbell's and Progresso are already feeling the pinch, with price increases of nearly 15% filtering down to consumers. And that's just the beginning. Some forecasts suggest that without a resolution, we could see an additional 20 to 25% hike by November. This isn't just about paying more, it's about potentially finding nothing at all when you stroll down the soup aisle. If your meal planning or emergency stash includes canned soup, now is the time to act. Stock up on those cherished cans of chicken noodle, hearty vegetable, or creamy tomato soup while they're still within reach. Because when the cold winter months settle in, and you're yearning for a warm, comforting meal, you don't want to be left out in the cold with empty shelves staring back at you. 4. Rice. A staple that quietly sits in our pantries, often without a second thought. But here's the kicker: this humble grain is on the brink of becoming a hard-to-find commodity and could soon cost you a pretty penny at the checkout. So why is rice, of all things, suddenly in the spotlight? First, let's talk about the weather, a force of nature that's been anything but predictable lately. In Asia, where a significant portion of the world's rice is cultivated, the monsoon season has gone haywire. Instead of the usual balance, some regions have faced bone-dry conditions, while others have been drenched by relentless floods. This erratic climate has wreaked havoc on rice yields in powerhouse producers like India, Thailand, and Vietnam. Adding fuel to the fire, India, the globe's largest rice exporter, has thrown a curveball by banning exports of certain rice varieties, including non-basmati white rice. This strategic move aims to stabilize domestic prices and prevent food shortages within their borders. However, this decision has sent shockwaves through the global market, causing rice prices to spike over 20% in just a few short weeks. Meanwhile, back on home soil, US, rice production is grappling with its own set of challenges. Water shortages and rising costs for essential inputs have put a strain on local farmers, pushing the domestic supply to the brink. Industry experts predict that if these trends continue, rice prices could surge another 25 to 30% by mid-October. Brands you know and trust, like Mahatma, Lundberg, and Goya, are already feeling the pinch. Some varieties are being pulled from shelves as distributors scramble to secure new stock. It's a domino effect that won't spare your local grocery store. Before you know it, finding reasonably priced rice could become a real quest. If rice is a cornerstone in your kitchen, whether you're preparing delicious stir-fries, hearty casseroles, or simple side dishes, it's time to take action. Stock up on those bags of rice now, while they're still within reach. Because once the supply chain tightens and prices soar, you might find yourself without this essential grain at your fingertips. 5. Coffee, that magical elixir that fuels our mornings and gets us through those long afternoons. But what if I told you that your beloved coffee ritual might soon be disrupted? Yes, folks, coffee is facing a perfect storm of challenges that could make this daily staple much harder to come by and significantly more expensive. Let's take a closer look at what's brewing on the global coffee scene. First, there's climate change, a relentless force reshaping the world of agriculture. Brazil, the heavyweight champion of coffee production, has been hit with extreme weather conditions, droughts, followed by unexpected frost. These climate anomalies have decimated coffee yields by a staggering 35% this season alone. That's a significant chunk of the world's coffee supply gone. Meanwhile, Colombia is battling its own demons. Heavy rains have delayed harvests and wreaked havoc on crops, adding another layer of complexity to the already tense coffee market. But wait, there's more. Vietnam, the leading producer of Robusta coffee, is grappling with political unrest, causing a ripple effect of supply chain disruptions. All these factors are conspiring to send coffee prices skyrocketing, with wholesale costs already up by 25% since the beginning of the year. And here's the kicker, it's only going to get worse. Retailers are sounding the alarm, preparing for a hefty 30 to 40% price hike by next month as supplies dwindle and transportation costs escalate. Major brands like Folgers, Maxwell House, and Starbucks are expected to hike prices to counterbalance the rising costs. This means that your favorite brew might soon burn a bigger hole in your pocket. If coffee is your lifeline to start the day or a treat that keeps you going, it's time to think ahead. Stock up on those beloved bags or cans of coffee beans now before prices surge beyond recognition, or worse, shelves are stripped bare. Picture a world where your morning routine is disrupted and your go-to coffee aisles are eerily empty. Whether you brew at home or grab your cup on the run, preparing now will save you from potential headaches later. Don't let the coffee crisis catch you off guard. Take action today to ensure your mornings remain bright and invigorating. 6. Canned tomatoes. Often overlooked, these humble kitchen staples are about to take center stage as they slip into scarcity. Whether you're a fan of hearty pasta sauces, rich soups, or comforting stews, canned tomatoes are likely a go-to for many culinary creations. But as we edge closer to November, this pantry staple could become a rare find and put a strain on your meal planning. So what's causing this tomato turmoil? The U.S. stands as the second largest producer of tomatoes globally, yet the industry is facing a myriad of challenges that threaten to disrupt supply. At the heart of the issue is California, which accounts for over 90% of the nation's processed tomato production. This agricultural powerhouse is grappling with an intense drought, and the consequences are severe. Water shortages have forced farmers to cut back on irrigation, leading to disappointing tomato yields. Experts are predicting a 20% reduction in harvest this year, and the ripple effects are already being felt across the market. But it doesn't stop there. The costs associated with growing tomatoes have soared. Water prices are climbing, and supply chain hiccups are driving up the cost of inputs needed to cultivate these juicy fruits. As a result, brands you trust, like Hunt's and Muir Glen, are beginning to feel the financial squeeze translating into higher prices for consumers like you and me. In recent months, we've watched prices for canned tomatoes creep up by over 15%. And the outlook? It's grim, with another 10 to 20% increase anticipated by the end of October. So what does this mean for your grocery shopping? If canned tomatoes are a staple in your kitchen, now is the time to act. Stock up on those cans while you still can. Ignoring the looming shortage could leave you facing bare shelves or paying a premium for this versatile ingredient. Imagine crafting your favorite dishes only to realize you can't find the tomatoes you need, or they become a costly item on your grocery bill. Don't let your meal prep suffer. Be proactive and ensure your pantry is well stocked before these disruptions hit full force. The absence of canned tomatoes could change the way we cook and plan meals, but you can take steps now to avoid a future scramble for this essential ingredient. 7. Peanut oil. While it might not be on your mind every time you hit the grocery store, this versatile oil is about to become a hot commodity. Whether you're deep frying, sautéing, or simply looking for a reliable staple in your cooking routine, Peanut oil has long been a favorite due to its high smoke point and neutral flavor. But hold on to your aprons, this kitchen essential is on the brink of scarcity, and here's why you should care. The United States proudly stands as one of the top producers of peanuts, but Mother Nature has thrown a wrench in the works. Key peanut-growing states like Georgia, Texas, and Alabama are reeling from severe droughts, leaving the peanut fields parched and harvests drastically reduced. The American Peanut Council has given us a grim warning, reporting a dramatic 20% drop in peanut production compared to last year. This isn't just a hiccup for local farmers, it's a tremor that's shaking the entire peanut supply chain. What does this mean for us in the aisles? Peanut oil prices have already climbed by nearly 18% in recent months, and the outlook is far from sunny. Major brands like Luana and Planters are bracing for a tumultuous ride into fall, with experts forecasting a further 25 to 30% price surge by November. But it's not just your wallet that will feel the pinch. Availability is about to take a nosedive too. Imagine gearing up for your holiday meals, only to find the peanut oil shelves bare. This oil's versatility and reliable performance in the kitchen make it a preferred choice for many, but soon it could become a rare luxury as demand far outpaces supply. So what should you do if peanut oil is a staple in your culinary arsenal? Whether you're prepping for Thanksgiving or just your next family dinner, now is the time to act. Don't wait to be caught off guard by skyrocketing prices or disappearing stock. Secure your bottles of peanut oil now to ensure you're not left scrambling for alternatives. Visualize the disappointment of realizing this essential ingredient is nowhere to be found when you need it most. It's a scenario that could very well become reality if you don't prepare in advance. 8. Oats. Often seen as a breakfast staple, oats are about to become as elusive as they are essential. If you're a fan of a warm bowl of oatmeal to kickstart your morning, or you rely on oats for your baking endeavors, listen up, because oats are facing a crisis that could soon hit your grocery basket hard. The U.S. Oat supply is caught in a perfect storm, with both domestic production and international imports severely compromised. States like Minnesota and North Dakota, which are crucial to America's oat production, have been reeling under severe droughts and unpredictable weather patterns. This turbulent climate has led to a staggering 35% drop in oat yields compared to last year. But the trouble doesn't end there. Our neighbors to the north, Canada, who hold the crown as the world's largest oat exporter, are grappling with their worst drought in decades. This climatic catastrophe has slashed Canadian oat production by a dramatic 50%, sending shockwaves through the global oat market. With demand surging and supply unable to keep pace, oat prices have already climbed by 20% this year, and experts are forecasting an additional 25 to 30% increase by the end of October. This shortage isn't just about your morning porridge. Oats are a key ingredient in a plethora of pantry favorites, from granola and oat flour to oat-based snacks and the ever-popular oat milk. Brands like Quaker and Bob's Red Mill are already feeling the heat, and they've begun to pass these increased costs on to consumers. It's only a matter of time before this price hike is reflected on store shelves. So, what does this mean for you? If oats are an integral part of your diet, now's the time to take stock quite literally. Picture this: strolling through the grocery aisle, only to find the shelves wiped clean of your favorite oat products or staring at price tags that have doubled overnight. It's a scenario that could easily become your reality if you don't act now. Prepare yourself by stocking up on oats and oat-based products while they're still available at a reasonable price. This small action today could save you from a big headache tomorrow. As we edge closer to November, oats might just transform from a humble breakfast item into a rare and costly commodity. 9. Pasta sauce. It's that comforting staple we all reach for on busy weeknights, but brace yourself, because this kitchen hero is about to face a dramatic transformation. Imagine walking down the pasta aisle only to find your favorite sauces either nowhere in sight or marked with jaw-dropping price tags. That's right, pasta sauce is on the brink of becoming a precious commodity, and here's why. The backbone of most pasta sauces is tomatoes, and this year the tomato industry is in dire straits. California, which provides over a whopping 90% of processed tomatoes in the U.S., is suffering from relentless droughts and strict water restrictions. This environmental stranglehold has slashed tomato yields by 25%. The California Tomato Growers Association has sounded the alarm, cautioning that without better water access, these shortages might deepen, potentially driving tomato prices up by 40% by the end of next year. And that's just the start. Olive oil, another key ingredient in many pasta sauces, is facing even steeper challenges. Spain, the world's leader in olive oil production, has been battered by unprecedented heat waves and severe droughts, cutting production by half. This cutback has pushed U.S. import costs of olive oil up by a staggering 35% this year alone. Brands like Prego and Rouse are already feeling the pinch and have started increasing their prices, with experts predicting an additional 20 to 25% hike by November if things don't stabilize. But the list goes on. Garlic, that aromatic powerhouse, isn't faring any better. With California and China dominating global garlic production and both reporting poor harvests due to extreme weather and disease, garlic prices have surged 30% in just 6 months. So what's the bottom line? By the time November rolls around, the cost of your beloved pasta sauce could spike by 30 to 35%, and some varieties might vanish altogether from the shelves. Retailers are already prepping for these shortages, and some have even started pulling certain sauces temporarily. If pasta sauce is your go-to for whipping up quick meals, be it a classic spaghetti, a rich lasagna, or a simple pizza base, consider this your heads up. Brands like Ragu, Classico, and Barilla might be in short supply soon, and if they're available, it'll likely come with a hefty price increase. Don't wait until you're staring at $1.80 jars, or worse yet, empty shelves. Stock up on your favorites now while they're still within reach. 10 canned tuna. This trusty staple, a go-to for quick lunches and nutritious meals, is facing a troubling future. Imagine reaching for that can of tuna to whip up a salad or sandwich, only to find empty shelves or sky-high prices. That's the reality we're heading towards, and here's why you should be concerned. The U.S. canned tuna industry is grappling with a perfect storm of challenges. The Pacific Ocean, the primary source of our tuna, is witnessing a drastic decline in both skipjack and yellowfin tuna populations. Overfishing combined with climate change-induced shifts in ocean temperatures has led to stricter international fishing quotas. These regulations aim to prevent further depletion but also significantly limit the available catch. On top of this, the operational costs for fishing vessels have surged. Soaring fuel prices are making it more expensive to operate these vessels, while labor shortages in key processing hubs like Thailand and the Philippines are creating bottlenecks in production. And if that wasn't enough, the cost of tinplate steel used in canning has increased by nearly 18% this year, further squeezing the industry. Leading brands such as Starkist, Bumblebee, and Chicken of the Sea are already feeling the financial strain. Canned tuna prices have already spiked by 15% in the last quarter, with experts projecting another 20 to 25% increase by the end of October. But it's not just your wallet that will feel the impact. Availability is set to plummet. Suppliers are reporting dwindling inventories, and some retailers are scaling back their orders to avoid being hit by the rising costs. So what's the plan if canned tuna is a staple in your diet or emergency preparedness kit? Now is the time to act. Imagine the frustration of having to pay exorbitant prices or hunt through stores in vain. Secure your favorite varieties and brands today while they're still within reach and reasonably priced. This foresight could save you from future headaches when canned tuna becomes a rare and expensive commodity. In conclusion, as we approach November, it's crucial to be proactive in managing your grocery shopping habits in light of potential shortages and rising costs. With products like canned tuna, and potentially others, facing significant supply chain challenges, it's essential to stock up on your staples sooner rather than later. The current economic pressures are reshaping the availability and pricing of everyday items, which could leave shelves barren. By planning ahead and being aware of the market trends, you can mitigate the inconvenience and financial impact of these changes. Stay informed, shop smart, and ensure you have what you need before these critical grocery items potentially vanish from stores.